Meanwhile, back home in Nigeria, actress Belinda Yanga is turning heads yet again with her role as a mentally challenged woman on an unnamed street in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. The tragic short film titled Were is produced, written and directed by first-time filmmakers Ogochukwu Ekezie and Dolapo Mariho, respectively. More details in this next feature.
It's a big day for film enthusiast Ogochukwu Ekezie as she finally crosses the corporate world to the creative side in pursuit of a lifelong passion. Friends, families, associates and select creatives will get to view her first project in filming since ditching the suits and ties of the corporate world. Her new production outfit, Red Sand Studios, has teamed up with yet another first-time filmmaker, Dolapo Mariho, to tell a compelling story about a homeless woman who relies on the kindness of a stranger to survive. The short film followed the chain of events that ensued after her lifeline mysteriously disappears and she is forced to ensure her own survival in a perilous city with devastating consequences. Pulling this through feels reassuring for Ogo, who had sometimes wondered if she would ever be able to break away from the white-collar environment to make a movie.
You know, as human beings, we have a window. You either try something at a certain point or you end up living with regrets. This is one of the things that I didn't want to live with regret about. And so I sort of plotted and planned my transition from my previous career and then into this career that I'm now in, hopefully. And it just took me, I decided after I left my job, I took a bit of time. I had a hiatus, I rested, and then I started to work on it, started to look for stories. And once I found this one, like Dolapo said, it was green light.
The story is an adaptation of a story written by Dolapo Mariho, inspired from her own daily travels along particular Lagos bus stops. She eventually was talked into directing a story by Ogochukwu, and now she feels proud of her first work.
The story essentially is a story about marginalization and the dangers of marginalization in a low consequence society like ours. So you've seen the movie and you've seen what happened to her in the end, and you saw the next day that there was no consequence for the people that perpetrated that issue. So what I would like people to, first of all, I would like people to not apportion blame to any of those characters, because we need to understand that in our society, there's a lot of things that happen that we cannot control. So, you see Abu and you think that, what is wrong with this boy? But Abu, in my brain, was a child from the north. He has struggled his way down to Lagos. The insurgency has killed his whole family, and he's trying to find a new family in those street boys. You see, so can we blame Abu for wanting to find a new family? Can we blame Spit Woman, for so you can't blame any of these characters. So essentially I was trying to tell people that blame is not very useful. You actually need to dig deeper and see within ourselves those shortcomings that we have that create these bigger problems.
The title character, who had been enduring a solitary world at the top of a pedestrian bridge above the busiest, most dangerous bus stop in Lagos, is played by acclaimed Nollywood actor Belinda Yanga. She went through the entire movie without uttering a single word, even though she had the most screen time. It was the kind of acting that Belinda truly enjoys.
It wasn't extra difficult. It was challenging, but it wasn't difficult. Very different. It wasn't difficult because this is the kind of roles that I long for, that I crave, where we're able to tell the story visually with the eyes, with the body. Because people say a lot, especially in our culture. If you notice, if you pay attention, we don't really say what we really mean in our words, but if you watch our body, we're telling you something, So yes, that's something that I really long for in Nollywood. And so when I received the script, I was like, yes, 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 let's do it. Let's do it.
The tragic end of the movie is a sharp contrast from the popular theme of Nollywood, and a newcomer, Ogo, understands this. She also understands the importance of authenticity, and she is banking on it to help push her chosen genre for her debut.
I think authenticity is a word that gets thrown around quite a bit, but I think authenticity is key for me. We need to tell real stories. We need to tell, and I think there's room for all kinds of stories. If people like happy endings, a lot of the movies I go back to sometimes because I want to be happy, and it's fine. But there are important stories to be told. When you have movies like Hotel Rwanda that are being told, you have movies like Schindler's List, we have to document the stories. We have to see ourselves as we really are, and we see ourselves, and hopefully stay our conscience to do better as people. Because happy endings is not the reality. I know that people come to the movies to escape, but I also think that there needs to be a modicum of reality, so that people can recognize the society that they live in, and hopefully think about, maybe have second thoughts about the way we behave in certain situations and how we can be better in general as people.
There were also star screens and stage powerhouse Bikia Graham Douglas, and it is an official selection of the African Film Festival in New York.
The cast and crew, the writer, director, executive producer for Weary. Thank you very much. You may please